Royalty, royalty, power to the chosen people.
(5:22), and it says, "Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto Yahuwah." So, how many people in here know what submit actually means? Anybody? How many people work? Well, you have to have some kind of definition, right? Because everybody lives with.
Give him authority. Subordinate.
Okay, subordinate, obedient. What do you?
But to the person that's in authority over you.
Subordinate to the person in authority over you. Anybody else? Any men? Huh? To be under obedience. Okay. Anybody else? That's it? Okay. So, the definition of this word is probably the most overused and underdefined word in probably all religious circles, because everybody has their own definition of what submission is, correct? And so, one, we're working with a Greek definition. What has happened over time is that because we are a people who have been through several captivities, then our definitions or how we define or how we act is defined based upon our captivities. I'm going to give you a little bit of historical background before I deal with that word. So, submission does not necessarily mean to obey. It doesn't mean to obey in the sense that whatever I tell you to do, that's what you're supposed to do. No questions asked. You have no right to question me. I know what's best. Okay? The Greek word is from a word called hupotasso. That's where we get it. You're not going to actually go find the word submit in the Hebrew and get the same definition that's being used here in the Greek. It's not going to happen. And it means to, in Greek, it means to get under and lift up or to put in order. So does that necessarily automatically mean obedience or subservience? No. Okay, so the word in the Hebrew, and I'm going to give it to you, and it's going to sound bad, but I'm going to explain it to you because there's two words. So the word means to put under, or in Hebrew it can mean subdue or to conquer or to bring into subjection, bring under rule, place the foot on the land in the sense of subduing it, and also to place one's foot in another nation in the sense of subduing it, right? While this is a definition, what we get here first is a cultural or contextual meaning. Has to do with war, right? Okay, so war then, to subdue, would be to subdue something outside of oneself, right? But that can't be consistent with Scripture. One, because if you go back to that Ephesians 5:22, it says, one verse before that, submit to one another out of reverence. So if it means to subdue, then we'd be warring with each other. I'd be trying to subdue you and put you under me, and then you'd be trying to do the same thing to me. So if it's supposed to be something that's done to one another, then it's not a warring term. So the term, where we get this from, where we get our definition from, is because over time we've been in captivity. And it's our captivities that have defined how we do things. The Babylonians were very influential in changing the structure of how Hebrews function. Whenever you go into captivity, you pick up stuff from your captors. Well, Babylonians were really, really big on the whole temple prostitute thing. And so now one of the leading reasons why men want women to be in subjection is sexual. It's like, whenever I want to have sex with you, you need to do it. And then when I want you to shut up and do something, you need to do that too, because then that just makes me want to have more sex with you. It's pretty much what it's true. Nobody likes a woman who talks too much, right? If you just shut up and do what I tell you to do, then it would make things a lot easier for both of us, right? And then I wouldn't just and in that case, then I wouldn't desire other women. And because you won't shut up, that's why I desire other women, right? I mean, that's pretty much it. Well, the Greeks had 5 classes of women. You had a wife who stayed at home, she didn't do anything, she didn't go anywhere, right? Then you had your prostitutes who didn't really come out, but everybody knew where they were. Then you had slaves, where they could either be sex slaves, but then they served in people's homes or places and they didn't get paid for it. Or if they did get paid, it was through sex and probably food. And then you had just your bottom of the rung woman, and then you had what was called a free woman, where she was a woman who could own and do stuff, but she had reached a certain level of wealth or social status. So that's where we're getting our definitions from, Babylon and the Greeks. But the Hebrew has a whole nother picture for this. It's completely different. In Ephesians 5:20 it says, subjection yourself one to another. In 1 Peter 5:5 it says, yea, all of you be subject to another and be clothed in humility. Okay? So there's a difference between being subservient and respect. And what Yah is calling for, if you want to use the whole idea, the original definition, to get under and to lift up, it has to do with the idea of the orderly arrangement of something. And actually the word for the orderly arrangement of something is dabar. And I think I have it on here. So it is the dalet, the bet, and the resh. See that? And so you have, one of the places you see it over in scripture is when Yeshua says, nobody comes through the Father but through me. We talked about the whole idea of a door, right? So a dalet is a door, and a bet is a house, and inside the house is the Father, right? So it's an orderly arrangement. It also has to mean the same way with words. So what happens in Hebrew is submission is to orderly arrange yourself under the person authority. Submission is only beautiful when the person willingly does it. If a person has to be subdued into doing it or disrespected into doing it, then you're not getting submission. What you're getting is a broken down person now acquiescing to the needs of another person. But when a person orderly arranges or puts the person who they reverence and respect in their proper place, then you get the working picture of that word. And people who are on YouTube and you guys in here, you got to get one of these. It helps because an etymological dictionary shows you the first place that something is used. And that's very, very, very important, so you get a working picture. So the word that should be used in the Hebrew, there's two, is shalak, right? Shalak. So shin, lamet, het. And I'll actually write it on here, shalak. So shin, lamet, het. Okay, shalak. And it means send or moving something to a goal. Can you start to see this picture play out now throughout Torah? So if the woman is to submit, it means to send or move something to its goal. I'm going to orderly arrange myself, right? So Yah, man, woman, children, and as Marvin was saying, cats and dogs and everything else under that. So I'm going to orderly arrange myself into my proper position. And in my position, yes, I'm under the man, if you want to use this the sequential thing, but it's actually cyclical. Everything in Scripture is cyclical. It completes a whole picture. Then you are supposed to move or send that person to their goal. I'm going to give you a working definition. Do you remember when Sarah, right, told Abraham to take Hagar? Was she doing it because she just was into some weird kind of stuff? Or did she have a particular purpose? A purpose. She was trying to help send Abraham to his goal. The promise was you were going to be made a great nation. I can't do it myself. So I'm willing to let my pride or whatever go in order that there be a seed to send you to your goal. Right? That's submission. So every man says he wants a woman to have his back, right? Submission is a woman having your back. She is advancing you toward your goal. It's more of a Western thing, but we say, if you see a great man, behind him is also a great woman. Because what is she doing? She's sending him toward his goal, whatever it is that he needs. If you need somebody to cook, if you need somebody to pray for you, if you need somebody to step in and record videos or edit videos, any of those things, then the person is sending you to your goal. whatever your goal is, that's what the family then helps advance. But it also works both ways. Women also have goals and things that they need to meet. So if we're submitting ourselves one to another, then the man should also be sending her toward her goals. If her goal is to care for the family and to do it with gladness and to not be contentious and to not be angry or have malice, then you also should be sending her toward that goal and not hindering her from reaching those goals. Because then all you'll have is the other word that we saw, which was, I think, kashak, which means literally to subdue. If she is not doing her job, then you're going to be trying to subdue her into doing it. And if he's not doing his job, then you'll be subduing him into doing it. And there will be no orderly arrangement of things. The other word for orderly arrangement of things is the word dabar. And we've seen that, which is the word for the word. So how do you get orderly arrangement? Is it from me telling you to do something from my own definition? Submit, shut up, don't do anything that I tell you not to do. Go in there and cook for me and don't require anything of me because you're just a woman. Or is it by the word? It's the word that causes a person to submit. Submit yourselves like unto Yah. So you're going to submit yourself to your husband the same way you would submit yourself to Yah. It's because the person is to be reverenced for their position. Submitting yourselves one to another. Then you're submitting yourself, based upon the definition we gave, sending toward the goal, to the woman because of her role. It's something that you can't do. So then you reverence and respect that. And so then there becomes mutuality. So when you hear the verse, and everybody uses this, and they make their wives call him Lord, and well, I'm not against it. Adoni, I think is the proper term because it's my Lord. Adon is Lord. The ending is mine, personal. Adoni. Okay, so Sarah called Abraham Lord. Why? Because she respected his position. When Yah said, I'm coming, I'm making you a great nation, I'm giving you a seed, immediately she started calling him Lord. Because she respected his position. And then when Yah gives the blessing, he also respected her position. So he was willing to wait for Sarah to have a child. Because Yah told him something very important. He says, I'm going to make a great nation, and you will be the father of nations. And he said, and Sarah will be the mother of nations. There's balance. There's a mutual balance all the way throughout Scripture. And whenever this is disrupted, then you get a subduing and you get a warring. And so submission can be both positive and negative. So you have Esther, who submitted to Xerxes, terrible ruler, but yet saved all of her people. Submission has power in it. So it can be used in the positive. And then you have Jezebel, who literally did submit to Ahab. Like, she really did. When he wanted that field, she was like, I got you. I'll kill somebody for you. I got your back. I'm a ride or die. But she was wicked, so then she turned her power into control. So submission is not for control, either, on either side. Submission is sending a person toward their goal.
Royalty. Royalty. Power to the chosen people.